make me wonder, oh Baba, I wonder. Kill it, get, kill it, kill it. Yeah, if you are here, oh my people, I have missed you. If you are here, drop me a line. Oh, let's talk. Hey, let me know you are here. Let me know you are here. The devil is a liar. Let me know you are here. Please check me if my video is lagging. I want to make sure. Yes, so MJJ in the building. Oh, God bless you, Jari, my personal person. Hey. Ẹ wá bá mi gbé gba ọpẹ́ o, yeah. Oh, inauguration day. If you are here, let me know you are here. Let me know you are here. This is crazy. It's crazy. Everyone that said that this day will not happen, God did not allow them to win. Hey, my sister, I am well. Oh, I have small toothache, but I'm on painkillers right now, so I can roll. I can roll. How far? How your end now? How you guys doing over there, man? Yeah, hope you guys are safe, oh. Yeah. Hope you guys are safe in UK, innit? Now wow, at least some changes are happening. I know, right? This is amazing, and I just want to let you know. One of the things that really gets to me is that when the election was happening, I looked like Trump was going to lose. I still, and that's one of the things like MBJX. Let me tell you, one of the things I was telling somebody at the beginning of this year was this. I was telling them, look, hey, be your battle in the building. What's up, bruv? I want to tell me, our God is bigger. These people that were saying that clove oil, I will try that one. I need something. The painkillers are working now, though. But I'm talking like I stole meat from my mother's pot. And she's asking me, did you take the meat? And I'm trying to pretend like it's not me, but the meat is in my cheeks. So it's causing me to talk differently. That's how I feel. But it's not, but the pain is subsiding for now, for the painkiller. So I have 1 hour before the painkiller run out. And I don't want to be dependent on painkiller. So after 1 hour, I will shut down so I can rest. But I must yarn. Hey, see Biden, Olu Biden. Biden is 194 years old. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit. But his dream of becoming president is just now showing up at this stage of his life. God help us. And the enemies don't want to. Hey, BC, you are the one that told me I should come and talk, whether or not I sound like I was beaten at the Alagbon police station. I should still come and talk. Thank the But it's a happy day, no matter what. It's a happy day, And like I was posting earlier, it's not that Biden is a Superman or is a miracle worker. We are too grown up for us to believe in any politician. You understand what I'm saying? MJX, Biden may not even be Moses. You understand what I'm saying? All we know is that the last guy was the devil. The last guy was the devil. Hey, if you are here, drop me a line, my people. My people. Biden is not a miracle worker. We are not children. We are not naive. We don't trust any man to solve the problems of. You can't even trust a man to solve the problem of a household. Talk less of a nation. So forget that noise. What we are saying is that the other guy, he was so horrible. What's his name? It was so horrible that all we just needed to find somebody who at least know that we know that he can cry for us. You know, it's a very interesting test. Can your leader cry for you? Does your leader feel enough to cry because of you? You see, a leader that can cry for you or cry with you might just be preoccupied with helping you. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, Tony is in the building. Tony, how far now? Ain't they go? What's going on, eh? Tony, wait. Tony, they told me that there's no corona in Nigeria. What's going on these days? I'm seeing too much COVID stuff happening, but there's no corona in Lagos. So what's happening? Is it malaria? It must be malaria because there's no corona in Africa. But what I'm seeing is making it look like corona. I don't want to believe it. My people cannot smell their fufu. They cannot taste their amala and egusi. This kind of malaria that is taking away smell and taste. It's a strange malaria, but it's not corona. That's what I'm hearing. So I will not join them to say it's corona because everybody that say they have corona on TV, people attack them and they curse their father. So I'll just it's not corona. It's just a strange disease. It's like malaria but you can't smell and you can't you can't taste. God will help us from this strange disease. That is not corona, but it's also not really malaria, but it's here in Lagos. Tony said she had just survived corona. God bless you. God will protect you. You will not go through it again. But you see, people don't want to hear the truth. People don't want to face facts. That's what happened in America. This inauguration you are seeing, people were saying that it will not happen. Based on what? Based on what? What exactly were they saying that said inauguration will not happen? What were they banking on? Lies. The same people that told them that the election was rigged, the same ones were the same ones that told them that something will happen that will topple the result. But the same ones that told them to just wait and that January 20th will not happen. They are the same ones that give them the same story. Where are they now? All of them. They are all hiding now. They are all hiding. And I'm telling you, man, we must get rid of conspiracy theories as the leading, forces in our countries. Nigeria is right now is a perfect example. Nigeria, we have spent so much time in Nigeria saying there's no coronavirus just because God gave us some advantages to deal with the first version of that virus. Just because God helped us a little bit with the first version, the first strain. God helped us in Nigeria. God really protected us because we have had malaria, typhoid, dengue fever, we have had Lassa fever. So when the first strain of corona came to Nigeria and he saw the malaria that Nigerians had, corona self bow. Corona bow for Nigerians because when corona came to Nigeria, but when it got to Nigeria, he saw that malaria was there, typhoid was there, dengue fever was there, Lassa fever was having a good time. Corona realized that he's the new kid on the block. Corona became shy and humble. So that's when Nigerians began to think that there's no corona in Nigeria. No, corona was just humbled by the senior boys of disease that he found in Nigeria. That does not mean that we are safe from it. Now, the second strain of corona, people say that the dreaded man cannot fight, but he has a very strong brother. The strong brother of corona has now come. This one doesn't care if malaria is there already. This one will just come in like this. Now Nigerians are beginning to confess small that it's not fake. Corona respected his elders. Busy. How can you enter Nigeria, you see malaria, you will fear disease. Corona safe bar. But this second strain of corona does not care has no respect for elders. This second strain of corona enter Nigeria, just begin to slap people left and right. So we are praying, hey, Lara is in the building. We move. My people, let me tell you, look, let's do this now. Give me one word to tell me how you feel today. One word, tell me how you feel today. Because I'm telling you, this is the relief in the air, bro. The relief in the air. This Biden has not even started anything. And I will keep saying Biden is not a miracle worker. I don't expect too much from Biden. I will not join you to set expectations for Biden that are not realistic. I will not join you. I'm telling you right now, it's rubbish. When you are in a car that is about to crash, and somebody is taking over from the driver and is turning the car around to keep it from crashing, they don't bond you well to tell the driver, please be careful as you are turning the car. I don't want my dress to tear. When they are saving your life, when a doctor is about to save your life, when they're about to intubate you or do the machine that they put inside the clear, that machine that say clear, that machine. When they want to put that machine, your wife will not be telling them, please don't tear his shirt, it's Louis Vuitton. When there's an emergency, you don't tell the doctor or the guy trying to save your life, that you should do it a certain way. You just say, just help me. That's where America is right now. Let me just say, America has no right to demand of Biden any miracle. I'm telling you. If you open your eyes and you voted for a dumpster fire 4 years ago, my guy, if we opened our eyes and we allowed a rubbish man, a destroyer of nations, to enter the White House for 4 years, please and please, miss me with your stupid expectations for Biden. It's rubbish. It is rubbish. If Biden can help us, so that if God can help Biden to help us, so that by the middle of the year to September, we are going out a little more, and vaccine has worked, and people are sure that vaccine is working. If Biden can guide this nation to just coming out of the house a little more by September of this year, he has done well. Basically, the trolls will work, but I'm preempting the trolls right now. Stop your rubbish. The one that Donald Trump did in 4 years cannot be cleaned up in 2 years, in 3 years, or 4 years, or 5 years. Stop nonsense. I will not listen to you guys. You guys can say nothing to me. The only way Biden would be a regret, let me explain something. The only way some of us will regret Biden, right? The only way I will regret voting for Biden is if in 4 years, another 400,000 Americans have died. That's my standard. That's my starting point. If 350,000 Americans die, God forbid it. If 250 Americans die, God forbid it. If 100,000 Americans die, God forbid it. It will be horrible, it will be a tragedy. I will not blame Biden for it. Hey, my people, have fun now. Yeah, okay, Kiola, I feel stimulated and elated. Well, we are using big grammar. Elated, elated. We're still going to be dealing with Trump using 50 years. You see, that's right. Yeah, Taiwo, you're right. He will work and do better. That's our prayer. That's our hope, hopefully for the people around him. You see, when it comes to this thing, people have to understand it is not the one man. I said about Trump too. I said it's not just so much about Trump, it's about what Trump will enable, what he will unleash. Trump gave a signal to some people in this country that were hiding before, our racist brothers. When Trump came, Trump literally opened the door, said, "You guys don't have to hide anymore." We said it on this on my page. People were calling us N-word now, free of charge. You go to store now, they will hear you speaking Yoruba on the phone, and they will start saying, "I don't know what all these foreigners are doing here. Why they speak English?" Before, they didn't have the liver to tell you that nonsense, but because their father was now president, all of a sudden they all came out of the woodwork. That's why I was telling people, like, stop talking about Trump as just another politician that you can like or hate. No, Trump was always an existential crisis. And you see, if not for the people that lost their lives, I would have said I celebrate January 6th. Apart from those who lost their lives, because loss of life is something that is honest, I celebrate January 6th. Because January 6th allowed everybody to see the thing that some of us were saying. We were saying that this guy represents a danger to the foundation of America. And they don't know that he will eventually lead his mob to go and uproot the pillars of the Capitol building. By the way, somebody says it's Capitol, not capital. It's not capital business, capital. It's capital, not capital. When they now went and when the militia now entered Capitol building, those of us who are watching, they don't have to say a word anymore. Everybody saw it. It was no longer now just, you just hate Trump, you just hate Trump. No, everybody was now quiet. This guy has been a fundamental challenge to what America stands for. But we needed to see a physical manifestation. Now we saw it. My people, you are here. Tell me, what do you feel right now? My people are giving me information. BC is in the building. Priest Taiwo Arowolo is in the building. Okay, Kiola is in the building. Sholaja, how far, bro? Happy inauguration day, my guys. Hey. Tony said, I'm happy he didn't attend by this inauguration. He would have made it work. My sister, there's no way he's attending. He's a shameless man. He's a shameless man. BC is causing trouble. BC says, hear me out on this, though. I don't blame Trump as much as I blame the GOP enablers. Let him get away with everything from the start. His cruises. BC, there's enough blame to go around. There's enough blame to go around. Trump himself is a human being. At some point, we are all responsible. And as a Christian, I know that is why we need the help of God. But one thing we must all first start, before you even get forgiveness, there's repentance. The admission that, yes, something is wrong with me is what helps us to move into the next level of asking for forgiveness. Trump has decided that as a person, he will never ask for forgiveness. That's what we are dealing with. So there's blame for the enablers. Then there's blame from Trump himself. The two they are not mutually exclusive. They are not mutually exclusive. And what I'm telling you today is that I want to let them hear clearly. I'm not setting any unreasonable expectations for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I'm not joining you for that nonsense. We are done with that. Yes, he must be held accountable. We are getting to that. BC, I just want to first of all enjoy this moment. I am not joining you to give Biden any ridiculous expectations. Honestly, you don't deserve. Look, Biden does not deserve to be burdened, right, with the responsibility of solving all the problems that Lysol created. It doesn't work like that. Like I said, I've been so happy all day. Even though we don't know what will happen, we are very hopeful. That's what I'm saying. That's why my expectations are. Let me tell you something. Simply by holding a memorial yesterday for the 400,000 Americans that have died of COVID, Biden is already 20% ahead for me. Bam. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. For a president for somebody to preside over a nation and lose 100,000, 200,000. Think about these numbers. We are getting numb to numbers, right? But we shouldn't. 10 people dying is a problem. 6 people died on January 6th related to that insurrection. Whether or not the lady that died, as one of the protesters and the rioters, really, whether or not, she was one of the rioters and got shot, or the officer that was killed, I look at that and I say, people died. Americans died. And that makes it a tragedy. There's no way to describe that day except for a tragedy. If 6 people dying is a tragedy, think about what America has been dealing with. If 6 people dying is a tragedy, sir, how in the world do we sweep away 400,000 Americans? They were not even protesting. I mean, this is the thing that blows my mind. And I see Trump defenders everywhere say, oh, we'll see what Joe Biden will do. He has already exceeded Trump by not killing 400,000 Americans. Let me tell you what this mathematics is coming down to. If in 4 years of Joe Biden, we are not losing the same Americans in the same numbers, he has already won the game. Because at the end of the day, sir, the main assignment for a president, for a government, is to keep their people safe. Let me tell you, the economic prosperity or security of the people, the joy index in the nation, although the military prowess, all those things are great. But if you cannot secure the lives of your nationals, if people in your country are dying under your watch, now we're not coming to the question whether or not it's your fault or it's something beyond your control. But if there's something you are supposed to do or you can do to make sure that you protect as many lives as possible and you are not doing it, then we are done with the conversation of comparing you to any other leader. You have failed. And that's why all these people talking about, the election was stolen. The election was never stolen. You don't have to steal an election from a guy who allows his people to die. This is what I'm saying. And I hate to do this, but I'll connect it to Nigeria really quickly. There are a lot of people who come out and they say, oh, they seem to remember me also criticizing Jonathan before Buhari won. It doesn't change the fact that Jonathan failed. This is the thing. I can't have that conversation because it gets emotional. It's not logical. It's not reasonable. All right? The Buhari winning has to do with Jonathan failing. Because people start the conversation from when Jonathan was voted out and Buhari was voted in. Now, my Nigerian people, please correct me on what I'm saying. But this is my perspective. Jonathan being voted out and Buhari being voted in, minus the rigging, but it did look like, Jonathan lost a lot of support. That's why it was even possible to get to that point where all they had to do was rig a little bit or rig in Sokoto and so. What I'm saying is that Jonathan lost support. And what was the thing that made him lose support? Insecurity. Insecurity. That's it. Tony, you can't have this conversation with people, and it's the same thing with the Trump situation. Personally, I felt like Donald Trump already lost this election based on some of the other things he has already done. Am I still communicating? This thing is looking. Tell me if this thing is freezing. Tell me if it's freezing because I might go to my phone. You see, personally, Donald Trump already lost. For instance, in my mind, Donald Trump should have lost the election based on all the things he has done before COVID. That's my own. Before COVID, Donald Trump has done enough to lose the election. He had put kids in cages. The economy he inherited that he was touting was already wobbling and on its way down. This is before COVID. So the failure was already there. Thank you, BC. I'm watching it. If I have to go on the phone, I will, but it's not, my internet is acting about. I just want to come on today. So the failure was complete for Donald Trump before COVID. Now, I will admit personally that if not for COVID, sir, if not for Corona, Donald Trump still had enough support and enough supporters in this country to win re-election. After all, he was the incumbent. Unseating an incumbent is already an uphill task. 1, 2. When the incumbent is the kind of incumbent like Donald Trump, who does not mind changing the entire nation apparatus to fit him, which is what he did. He put acting secretaries in cabinet. He controlled this, he controlled that. He bullied the FBI, bullied the CIA, bullied the Department of Justice. He put his own crony in the Department of Justice, put his own personal person in post office. People who are now bowing to him, Rankadidi, Rankadidi. So Donald Trump had already set things up for a re-election. In fact, as a matter of fact, on so many levels, Donald Trump would have been so difficult to beat, because the truth is he has a very strong base. That base, I've always insisted, is not enough to make him president or to keep him in office, but they are strong and they are loyal. The only question was, how about everybody else? And I've always said it, Donald Trump had a coalition. It was when he started losing his coalition that it looked possible that he might lose re-election. Of course, he pardoned Steve Bannon, of course, because from this point forward, he would need Steve Bannon to help him maneuver out of whatever is coming at him. So all of this is self-interest for Donald Trump, right? Now, if you're looking at Donald Trump and you're saying there was rigging, this is the first thing I told everyone that said there's no need to rig an election when he has upset enough Americans. Americans were mad at Trump, and you guys pretended like you didn't see it. Trump supporters, you pretended like you are the only ones on the planet. I was arguing online with so many of you. You talked as if we were going to be shocked by Trump supporters, by Trump victory. Ordinarily, I would have said you are right, because he's the incumbent. It was a surprise the way he won the first time. Why won't he win again? But I kept telling you that there was one game changer: coronavirus. Donald Trump completely mishandled the virus. And you can lay so many of the American deaths at his feet. There are people who have written op-eds, there are people who have done YouTube videos saying that their family members who lost their lives to corona literally were quoting Donald Trump while they were misbehaving with corona. Let me tell you something. If you wear a mask, if you socially distance, if you practice washing your hands, if you do all the safety stuff, you are still not safe from corona, but you are giving yourself a chance. That was the whole conversation about all the safety measures. Just give yourself a chance. There's a chance that if you are safe, you wear your mask, you try to socially distance, you do your hygiene, there's a chance that you might be free from corona, or you might escape it. But it's not a guarantee. But your chances of catching corona are multiplied if you go out there willy-nilly, no mask, gathering, going to parties, doing weddings. That's the simple mathematics here. People make it seem as if, oh, look at you are making it look like if you wear a mask, you are. No. You're just giving yourself a better chance. Same thing with the vaccinations. If you take the vaccine, you are giving yourself a better chance for your body to be able to fight corona. It doesn't even keep you from getting the disease. It helps you to fight it when it comes, and stops you or keeps you from passing it to others. But we've been plagued with ignorance, because we've had ignorant leaders in all these our nations. I mean, Donald Trump's ignorance spread like wildfire. It's like corona was infecting us, ignorance was infecting us, and the two of them were working together to kill us. This is right. In addition to Donald Trump telling you not to bother to wear a mask, in addition to Donald Trump telling you not to bother, social distancing, he was encouraging. They were doing Trump rallies where he was bringing people together. If nothing else, Donald Trump should have lost the election based on that. That's it. His attitude towards COVID-19 was a major feature of why he lost the election. So all these people looking for a rigged election, they are making it sound like it was. There's no need to rig an election when the leader you are trying to unseat is so horrible. There's no need to rig. You don't have to rig an election against an incumbent if he is horrible enough. That's my point. Donald Trump was horrible enough, more than enough. Donald Trump was horrible, more than horrible. And the thing that is so interesting to me, even after he lost the election, on his way out, he continued to reveal how horrible of a person he is. Let me tell you, I have been the one, if you see me online, if you see me online, I've been the one telling people, hey, don't gloat, hey, don't yap Trump supporters, let's come together, let's hold hands. It's not their fault. They were deceived, they were bamboozled, they were conned. Let's forgive them. I'm the one saying all of that online. But that was before Donald Trump started peddling the lie that he won. You see, my initial reaction when Biden won was, let's come together. I don't want to gloat. I don't want to troll people. As my friends will tell you, I'm the one that was going online saying, whenever one of my friends would troll a Trump supporter or Trump supporters, I say, stop taunting people. It's not good. We all make mistakes. We are all learning. And then they started spreading the rubbish about, it's a rigged election. Donald Trump actually won. I've never seen anything like this in my life. That's why I joined the trollers. We would join together on inauguration day like this, and we say waka to you. On inauguration, this day that has come, January 20th, now that Biden is President Biden, where are your faces? I didn't want to do this, but this nonsense, you are carrying lies. Do you know they are still carrying another fresh lie? Let me gist you. My people are here. Jump in, if you are here, let me know you are here. Brabi is in the building. Yeah, his attitude towards COVID-19 was, I don't care. Let me tell you, let me gist you on the new lie now. The new lie is that they have gathered documentation that they will now go fresh to court to now fight Biden's presidency and to declare Biden's presidency illegitimate. And Donald Trump will now fly back on the same plane he flew and come and take back his position. That's their new lie. That's their new lie. If you are the kind of person that will still believe the people that are lying to you after you have seen the complete destruction of their lives, then you deserve whatever is coming to you. Do you see those morons that wrote a Capitol and they were thinking Donald Trump will pardon them? I can't laugh well. Oh. They are waiting for Donald Trump to pardon them after they stormed the Capitol. My guy, he didn't pardon them. Their generations are going to jail. It's not a funny something. That is how deception has led our people. People are being deceived so much that they're about to go to jail with no chance of a pardon because they believed a liar. I mean, I don't understand how you will sit in your house and someone will tell you that, oh, the election in Philadelphia, in Atlanta, in Milwaukee, all the black areas, that every black city where black people voted, all those ones were rigged. But all the white areas where Donald Trump won, no rigging. And you're going to sit there and tell me that that's your basis for a rigged election. Today is the day to say, thank God you lost. All the places he lost is rigged. In any case, he's been saying it before that the only way he could lose is if he's rigged. So it was somebody that's already preemptively said that his loss is the result of a fraud. When he now actually loses and he's now telling us it's the result of a fraud, that's a boy crying wolf. So that means that his claim of rigged elections or fraud was not based on evidence. It was something he had already predicted. So whether or not it was rigged on the election day, he had already said it was going to be rigged. So even if it wasn't rigged, they would say it was rigged. And not to mention that we found out that there was one of the aides at the chief of communication that was in the room when they realized that Biden had won, and she saw them begin to plot and conspire on that very day. That same day, they started conspiring to say that it was rigged. She saw them gathering together in the room, and she saw Trump. I mean, she's on my page. She was on CNN. I think she's one of the deputy communications director. She said she was the one raising her hand and telling them, "No, let's not do this. This was not a stolen election. Boss, you lost. Let's just concede. Let's honorably." They told her to shut up. They told her to be quiet. She resigned. These are people that were in the room, but you are in your parlor shouting rig, fraud. People who are in the room are telling you that there was nothing rigged, and the moment that they all knew that Trump had lost, it was known in that room that Trump lost fair and square. It was in the same moment that they decided not to accept that loss and begin to craft and conspire. This is a madman in a suit, like Rishi is saying. My people, let me hear you. So let me tell you this. If you are one of those people who have been, I don't know, are you seeing any of the trolls on your page, or are they quiet? Because many of them are quiet on my own page. Many of the Trump supporters. Now, I've always separated out those who those who are coming back and saying, look, I supported Trump, but I realized that he messed up on coronavirus, or I supported Trump, but the Capitol building is the last straw. That's an irresponsible leader to allow that to happen, not to stop it, not to call them back, not to send the National Guard, all that stuff. So there are people who have come out and say, yeah, but MJ said they are crying on Twitter. At least they have Twitter. They are lucky they didn't take their own Twitter. Yeah, in the room where it happened. Yeah, Hamilton. I'm telling you, this lady. The video. I think it's on my page. When we are done, you can check it out. She literally said she was in the room when the results came in, and they began to realize that Biden was going to take Georgia, that Biden was going to take Pennsylvania, he was going to take Arizona. That when those results came in, especially when they began to realize that the remaining counties that had not been counted were the blue counties. They all knew it. The same way, let me tell you, this is how you know there was no rigging. It's the same formula we used to know that Ossoff and Warnock had won Georgia. It's the same identical formula. It's the same formula. Because the way they count the vote will determine what you see first on your screen. The red counties, there are more of them, but there are less people in those places on aggregate to the urban areas. And you and I already know this. And I said this so many times. Not to be a broken record, but I think it's important to fight the lie with the truth. Where the people are is in the cities. So you finish counting Ibadan, not even Ibadan, it's a city, it's a large city. You finish counting the outskirts of a city first, because there are small precincts and you can count. But the main area will be full, and they won't even finish voting when some other countries will have finished counting. And so when you see the results coming, they call it a red mirage. But Trump knew this. His advisors already told him that at a certain point of the night, there'll be a red mirage. It will look as if you are winning. After that, they'll start counting the mail-in votes. They'll start counting the absentee votes, and they'll finish counting the big cities. Then there's going to be a blue wave. The only question is, will the blue wave be enough to overcome the red mirage that it is on? It's a mirage because it's not the true number. It happened again in the Georgia race. Ossoff was losing, but then they asked the question, which counties are left to count? How many votes are left to be counted? What percentage of those votes is likely to go for Ossoff? And what percentage will go for the other guy, Perdue? It was math. I'm saying this because we need to keep saying it. Today, Joe Biden is president, not because of any rigged election, but because he beat Donald Trump like a drum. Guy, he beat Donald Trump in the city. He beat Donald Trump in the field. He beat Donald Trump going, and he beat Donald Trump coming back. I can't laugh too much. I'm telling you, quote it anywhere. Donald Trump was beaten by Biden. And the thing that hurts Donald Trump, I think, is that he was destroyed by a guy from a basement. Are they not the ones who are telling us Biden is in the basement? Some of his supporters are calling in onto TV shows saying, how could Biden have beaten Donald Trump? He didn't even campaign. He was hiding in the basement. How could he have beaten Donald Trump, a great man like Trump who was holding rallies? And I said, it is very easy. Joe Biden in the basement had support from people who are also in the basement like him because of Corona. So the basement people voted. People who were careful about Corona voted. And it turns out there are more of them than the anti-maskers. That is what happened. More of us believe in God as well as science. That's what happened. There's no need to rig any election against a man that fails so badly on something like that. Hey, Shade is in the business. Shade, how far? Happy inauguration, far. For my people coming in, tell me. Let me ask you this question. What are your expectations for the Biden-Harris administration? What do you hope to see? What do you hope will happen for this incoming administration? Then let me go to the controversial question that Henry Jacks was bringing up. Do you think Donald Trump will be convicted in the Senate? on his impeachment trial. What do you guys think? So you are right, the election was not rigged. It was clear. Let me tell you, the reason why we are celebrating Biden's victory today, let me explain this to you. The reason why it's so easy for us to celebrate Biden today is because Biden's victory was clear. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. All the efforts that Donald Trump put in and his people, if the election was closer than it was, I promise you, Donald Trump would have succeeded in walking away with this presidency. If the election had been, if it had come down to Georgia, or if it had come down to just one state or few votes, Donald Trump would have bullied everybody in that state and they would have done what he wanted, and Biden would not be able to prevail. That's one thing I'm grateful to God for. I'm grateful that God let him beat this guy. Biden beat Donald Trump. You know that game that they used to tell us about when we were small, like it's India versus one country, and India scored 99 goals, and that country scored 0. Remember that game where they said maybe because the Indians, they put juju in their post, so that every time, I think they say it's India versus Nigeria, they said that every time the Nigerians were coming to score, when they got to the post and they were about to kick, the ball would turn to rock, and the footballer will kick the ball, and yeah, it will break his leg. They say anytime you are coming to score against that goalkeeper, as the Nigerian player is coming, they said that the goalkeeper will become a lion. And then the player will leave the ball and run away. Remember that story? Anybody remember that legend? Let me know, please. I know I'm not making it up. That's the story we told. Like there was 99-0 football game between India and Nigeria because India used juju. I told you remember. That's how Joe Biden beat. I can't laugh too much. Biden beat Trump in Georgia, in Arizona. He beat him in Pennsylvania and Michigan. He beat him in Nevada. You have not heard me. Then he now beat him in all the regular places like California and New York, where he's supposed to beat him. Oh boy, that's what made it difficult for Trump to cheat. Oh, I'm telling you, that's why it was difficult for Trump to cheat. The beating was too strong. 60 law cases, 60 lawsuits, Fox News, Newsmax, OAN, everybody fighting to destroy Biden's reputation. They did not let Joe Biden enjoy 1 minute of his victory, not 1 minute. They didn't even let him transition. They withheld money from him, the GSA money. They treated Joe Biden so horribly. I've not seen, let me tell you something. I'm the first to confess that Donald Trump had it difficult when he won because he was so odious to so many people in America, and we were shocked that he won. So I will confess it. People were hostile to Donald Trump. People were hostile to Donald Trump. People want to bring it up and say, oh, you guys are not feeling the pain. Well, but people were hostile to Donald Trump, but not the president at the time. Not even the person he defeated. That's a major difference. They said that the note that Trump wrote for Joe, the truth is you will not see that note unless Joe Biden wants you to see it. So any note you are seeing now that is the note that was written for Joe, I will suspect it because people are making jokes and they are putting fakes, making fake notes, just trolling Trump and saying if Trump actually wrote a note for Joe Biden, the note would say, "Dear Joe, congratulations, but I won." So anything you see now, just take it with a grain of salt. Unless Joe Biden officially releases the letter or the contents of the letter that Trump wrote to him, I would take anything you see now with a grain of salt. Those are the kind of things that you have to wait to see. But like I'm saying, when you look at the way Joe Biden was treated after winning, when you win an election and you are not allowed to celebrate it, you win an election and you are not even allowed to you don't even enjoy any of the perks. It was so unfair the way Biden has been treated. The only difference is that Joe Biden is not the kind of guy that cares about how you are treating him, because for Joe Biden, being president is the best thing that could happen to his career. 1, 2, I think he really wants to make a difference. I think he really wants to leave a legacy. I think he really wants to help. He's not a saint. I don't expect miracles from him, but I think his heart might be in the right place. He will make mistakes. He will do things I disagree with, but that is normal politician. Normal. That's what I was praying for. Normal rubbish, normal wahala. normal brouhaha, normal disagreement, normal misbehavior. There's normal misbehavior in politics. I don't mind to see normal misbehavior again. Donald Trump is not any of that. Donald Trump is a different category. That's why he had to go. Let's come back to normal rubbish, normal nonsense. America will do things that will upset you and I. It will happen again. But I promise you that Donald Trump is different. Donald Trump is the kind of thing that will set fire to the foundation of a democracy. And he literally did it. Because the Capitol is the physical symbol of America's democracy, where our lawmakers come together to affirm presidents, to affirm elections, to give laws, that's the Capitol building is that one. And they went there and they desecrated it. They sat on the chair, they wrote on the table, they said it's either they defecated on the walls and peed in some areas of the Capitol, or they took their hands and someone said they didn't see anybody actually defecate, but they saw feces on the wall. So that means that either somebody went to the bathroom and picked up whatever they found. This is what they did to the symbol of democracy under Donald Trump. I promise you, there are very few presidents under whom this could have happened. That's my point about Donald Trump from day one. He's an unusual one. He's not normal, not in a good way. And that's what I will say it again. For my people joining me, I will say it again. I will not join you to give any unreasonable expectations on Joe Biden. It's unfair. It's unfair to now pile up expectations on Joe Biden. It's unfair for you to come out and say, well, Joe Biden better fix the economy. He better fix Corona. He better unite the nation. Are you mad? Is he Clark Kent? Is he Superman? Even Superman will go back to his country, to his planet, when he sees this kind of dumpster fire. I'll say it again. Biden is not responsible to fix everything that Trump broke. Let's start with that. MJJ said Trump wanted the designated survivor. When he killed all the senators in Congress, he will be the dictator. I don't doubt it. That's why he was watching it. Donald Trump did not stop that insurrection. We found out it was Mike Pence that ordered the National Guard to come in. They were begging they were trying to call Donald Trump on the phone. That's why Kevin McCarthy is upset with him. That's why Kevin McCarthy is on the floor saying, don't impeach him, but he's responsible for the riots. You would never have heard that from Kevin McCarthy in a million years. Kevin McCarthy is a die-hard supporter of Donald Trump. You would never have seen Mitch McConnell in a million years come out and say the rioters were encouraged by Donald Trump. The reason why many of them are turning and able to, because they called him in the middle of the insurrection. They called him and he didn't answer. Kellyanne Conway, they called Kellyanne Conway from her house. She was on Bill Maher. Bill Maher asked, they called her from her house. Kellyanne, please call president. Maybe he will listen to you. They were calling people they called Jared to call his father-in-law to please help to stop the insurrection. He didn't. Are you understand what I'm saying? Trump was watching to see where it will end. Let me promise you, if the insurrectionists had their way, if they were able to capture Pelosi, capture Pence, and do something horrible, don't get me wrong, Trump will turn on them after, like he did when he came on TV and he said, you'll be arrested, you'll be punished. Many of them were online saying, why is he saying that about us? Is he not our father? You better go and ask Eric Trump and Don Jr. what kind of father he is. Trump was watching to see where it will end. Let me promise you, you say I've come. If these insurrectionists had been able to capture one of the congressmen or do anything to Nancy Pelosi or hang Mike Pence, people say no, they were just playing. What kind of play is that for grown men and women to be playing? They are shouting, hang Mike Pence, and you put a noose on the scaffold. You are already set up, and you are looking for him. And they entered the room and they literally said, where are these guys? Where are these MFers? Where's Pelosi? If not for that brave African-American police officer, now you guys know that one now, his ancestors are with him. Because he's not. I saw him today now working with Vice President Harris. I don't know if he's going to be on permanent, Vice President detail. But when it's John Soke, you understand what I'm saying? His whole game has changed because of that one moment of bravery. And do you know that's funny? He used brain for this this pack of rats. He saw them rushing. He said, "Hey, don't follow me." He said, "Don't come here. You guys stay there. Hey, don't follow me up this stairs." The whole time he was leading them away from my face. Oh, don't do. These guys are so dumb. Thank God, oh. Thank God for their stupidity. It was rough play, my guy. He said, "Hey, you guys are coming. If you," he said, he took a battle. He said, "If you follow me up these stairs, if they burn you well, follow me up these stairs." The guys followed him. He said, "Hey, you are coming near me. Okay, if follow me." The whole time he saved Mike Pence. Okay, you are right. There was only one agenda for the insurrectionists. But let me tell you what Trump's agenda was. And when I tell you this, it doesn't take mathematics of a high level for you to figure out what I'm trying to say. All you have to ask yourself is Donald Trump the kind of person that would do this? And and you see, this is my point. When Donald Trump saw the insurrection, now in benefit of Donald Trump, when he sent those people to the Capitol and when he started the rally and all that, I would not be surprised to learn, if I could get into his head, that Donald Trump did not know exactly what would happen, right? He knew these people were angry. He knew they would do anything for him. He knew that the process inside the Capitol at that time had to be disrupted. He sent his congressmen were inside the room disrupting it for him in a legislative way. But he was, when Pence told everybody that morning that he would not be able to do the coup, that triggered Donald Trump to realize that whatever is Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, and the QAnon ladies, whatever they were doing inside the room would not be enough to disrupt the certification of Joe Biden. He made that decision because Mike Pence was his last hope. If Mike Pence was going to join him to undo the process, then they could probably really do something to hold up that process. But when Mike Pence communicated that he couldn't do it, Donald Trump knew that even the guys inside, the Ted Cruz's, Josh Hawley, that their whole process, it could delay the process, but it will not undo Joe Biden's victory. It was at that moment I feel that Donald Trump felt like he can use this crowd to pressure the people inside. The nature of that pressure, I don't think Donald Trump, he knew it was possible that it could turn violent. But I think he was playing a game where he's like, let's see where this goes. Yeah, I mean, thank you. He just let the bull loose in the market. Now, with a goal, here's the point I was trying to make. Don't forget that all the chatter we are hearing about martial law and Donald Trump changing the civilian heads in the military and the Pentagon. This is where all those things were coming together. Ordinarily, Donald Trump would not be able to declare martial law for any old reason. But I promise you this, even you and I will not be able to say no, even though we will know why. We will not be able to say no if Donald Trump declares martial law after some harm had come to the vice president. You understand what I'm saying? If harm came to the vice president or Nancy Pelosi in that insurrection, that's all he needed. He doesn't even need anyone else to get hurt. If anybody harmed Nancy Pelosi or even any congressman, let's just be honest about it. If either Nancy Pelosi, any congressman, any senator, or Pence got hurt, he was really waiting to see if they had gotten hurt in that insurrection. Do you not understand how that would have opened the door for Donald Trump to now send in the troops under martial law, which would give him powers that he ordinarily would not have? Now he will suspend the count in that place. He will postpone the certification. He will find a way. Now, this will be more difficult, but he will find a way to postpone the inauguration. It will not be too difficult. Once you declare martial law, you suspend the Constitution. Do you understand the math? All of this is inside the American legislative system. He would have been within the law. Suspend the Constitution, declare martial law, and from that point forward, it's anybody's game. So that's why I'm grateful to God that the insurrection was not able to achieve what they wanted, because the insurrectionists themselves may not even be too sure, but I know some of them are, because you have militia members in there, you have ex-military in there, you have serving military guys in there. Those guys know about tactical operations. They know about, anybody who's been involved in a coup in a foreign country, who's been involved in insurrections, and many of our soldiers have been planted left and right to do work in different countries. So, and if you go on their online chatter, they're already talking about martial law. So they were all planning that. Now, I've always said Donald Trump is not smart enough, but trust me, the people around Donald Trump were telling him what was possible. Like we found out My Pillow guy took a notepad to the White House and the cameraman took a picture of what he was on his pad, and he wrote martial law for something. So people like my pillow guy would have got yeah, even an MTA employee, my sister, everybody was there. America saw herself in a very bad mirror on January 6th. Americans saw themselves in a bad mirror. So, ladies and gentlemen, we dodged a bullet on January 6th. The My Pillow guy is one of those helping Trump to organize martial law. My Pillow guy is about to lose all his pillows, though. They are suing him. Bed Bath and Beyond has dropped him. Macy's has dropped him. Anything that Donald Trump touches will die. Guy. I've been saying it for 5 years. If Donald Trump touches you or you touch him, he's a virus. He will infect, and then if you don't cut yourself off early, you will go down. Ask Michael Cohen, ask Karamuchi, ask Omarosa, ask Sean Spicer, ask Kellyanne Conway, ask anybody, ask Mark Kelly, General Mattis, John Bolton. Anybody who worked for this guy, ask them. Don't believe me, believe them. Ask his niece. So, Okwelu said he shan't come back. Oh. Yo. Now, this is an information that has come to light that some people are planning another party, a Trump-related party, to break away from the GOP. It will be a blessing for us. We all know that. Because if that party can be broken into two, the chance of them ever winning any election is broken into two. So, me, I don't mind. But Sister Jex has given a potential name for that party. It's called the PP Party. Tony said, everyone that has worked for him are feeling the work. I'm telling you, when you work for that man, let me tell you, people who work for him were surprised when they got there and they saw how dumb he was. John Bolton's book is filled with examples. I saw some excerpts. John Bolton's book is filled with examples of moments where Trump said the dumbest things, and Bolton and everybody in the room were like, did he just say that? He asked John Bolton that Finland is not part of the UK. That is he sure? John Bolton said, yeah. You're making me laugh too much. This is the same guy that told the generals when they were talking about hurricanes and disaster. He said, can we drop a nuclear bomb inside a hurricane to disperse it? He said the general look at themselves and say, think about what you just said. A nuclear bomb inside a hurricane. Will that stop the hurricane, or will that make the hurricane a nuclear hurricane? America is shinkan. So this is the guy that you made president. And there are some milestones in Trump's presidency that make me glad that it happened, so that all the things that some of us have been saying will not sound like we just hate him. The day he said we should inject bleach to kill corona inside the system, I knew that day the battle was over. And let me tell you right now, the moment I knew, but I wasn't bold enough to say it, because there's always a chance. But the moment I suspected that Donald Trump might lose re-election is the day he said that we should inject bleach into our body to kill corona. I'm telling you. Because on that day, I believe that the entire world, collectively, when he said that, I believe that if we took a picture of everybody in their house, when Donald Trump said, can we put bleach? I see how bleach is very good. Can we put it inside the skin? The day he said that, I can see everybody in the house going, wow. How dumb are you? And I feel like that was the moment. Listen, it was an abusive relationship. Oh. That's why you have to. Afiz is in the building. Yo, I'm telling you, Lysol, man, the day he said we should inject bleach, that's the day I knew he would lose the election. Because that was the day I felt like everybody in the world said, no, this guy is a moron. Nobody can tell me anything anymore. His own team, that was the day they ended the briefing. They stopped doing corona briefing that day. When your team is telling Oga, oh yeah, turn the camera, oh yeah, off the camera, off the recorder, Oga, you are not talking again. That was the day I say I'm grateful because because I've been saying that this man is a crazy person. They think I hate him. I don't hate him. One of my brothers challenged me. He said, I'm because I'm advocating that they need to convict him after he leaves office on the impeachment. And someone says, don't you think that that's just being vindictive? Don't you think that you are just being wicked? Is it because you hate him? Don't we have enough problems? Why don't you let Biden face the problems and we should let Donald Trump go? And I said, this is the problem. Afi said, I hate him more. Okay, I won't catch you among the category of those that don't hate him. Donald Trump is a civilian now. My feelings towards him, indifferent. It was never about him for me. It was about the office he occupied. Before Donald Trump became president, I knew about him. I had no feelings towards him. It was just another socialite, rich billionaire. I knew he was a buffoon, but I never hated him. I never had strong feelings against him. It is his role as president of the United States and his road to getting there that changes how I speak about him. Because he came into this presidency and injected a poison into this nation. I was saying it from day one. He's injecting something into the bloodstream of this democracy. This democracy is going to get sick. And he sickened this democracy. Never before, in my little time of understanding how America works. Guys, tell me if you are still seeing me. I'm seeing that this thing might be, my internet is acting weird today. Let me know. So I apologize for that. I was going to go live on the phone if this happened, but let me hopefully you guys can still see me. All right. Yeah, I'm going to keep going because I know it's a temporary glitch. But let me I wanted to play a video. It's freezing, but we are hearing you. Thank you. Don't worry, I'll get myself together. It's 2021. We are stepping up. If Joe Biden can become president at the age of 97, then I can get better internet. Glory to God. Some of you are still mocking me because I said I'm going to join the NBA, the LA Lakers. People like Shegun Williams are out there because he's tall. He thinks that when a short person dreams of joining the NBA at my age, that is not possible. I have seen Joe Biden. I have seen the light. If the daughter of a Jamaican and an Asian can come together and become vice president, I too can have better internet. BC, oh, he's 79? He's not 97. Okay, my bad. I thought he was 97 years old. Either way, the analogy still works. If Joe Biden can become president after this late stage of his life, then all things are possible. Let's just put it that way. And that's what, now, back to what I was trying to tell you now. The reason why Trump's situation is hard for me to bear is that America was never perfect. America had issues. But America was managing. America was managing. America was doing okay. What this man represents and what he represented was the opening of the doors. For the worst elements to come. This guy went into the basement, opened the basement door, and all the creatures came to the surface. That's the problem. That was the thing that bothered me about him. And he was doing it right from his campaign. And what we saw on January 6th is just a manifestation of these guys coming out of the woodwork. And I feel, again, condolences for everybody who died. I don't care if you died as a protester or if it's a police officer. I just feel for all the families that are grieving right now. There's no reason why anybody should have lost a loved one on January 6th. There's no reason. It's not right. We're losing enough people to Corona. We're not supposed to lose more people to insurrection. 6 people? All because of a lie? All because somebody wants people to go out and just destroy the nation on its behalf? It's so unfair. This is why I was telling my friend, Donald Trump has to be convicted. He has to be convicted. It's no longer just a question of how I feel about him. It's a question of precedence. If another president or leader in American history or America's future, if another leader finds himself leading a mob of people and that mob is tending towards violence and that leader does not have the brain or the sense to tamp down their agitation, if he doesn't have the understanding that it is his responsibility not to fuel and use it, but to quell it, then that leader needs to know that consequences are waiting for him. These consequences we're talking about, they may not even be enough, but something has to follow. Something has to follow, because don't forget, Donald Trump being voted out of office was the verdict of the people against him for his performance as president. That's a separate reaction and consequence of his misbehavior as president. This is post-election behavior. So you have to punish it somehow. You have to deal with it. There must be accountability. There must be accountability. And it was based on a lie. I don't have the video, but did any of you hear about Senator Langford? I forget which state. Somebody remind me if you know. Senator Langford went back to his home state, and he made a statement apologizing to the minority members of his constituency. Langford. He apologized to the black voters, black and minority voters in his state. Why? He said that upon reflection, he realizes that by joining the conversation about election rigging and by fueling that lie, he was joining the people to attack black voters. That is the clearest example of what I've been trying to say about this election rigging, election fraud argument. This is a GOP senator. He was one of those who also initially said, we need to investigate the rigging. Donald Trump, how could he have lost? He was one of those people. But the truth is, upon reflection, Tulsa, thank you, BC, Tulsa, Oklahoma. He went back to Tulsa to apologize to his own black voters. Trump took Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. Trump took Oklahoma. So he wasn't even apologizing to people. He wasn't apologizing to Georgia black people, but those were his own black people. Because he was made to realize that each time you say the election was rigged, and I need you to use this against everybody who says this nonsense. Each time you say the election was rigged, what you are saying is that the black voters that came out in those cities are fraudulent. That's what you're doing. You're attacking all the black voters in that area. Because in every conversation about rigging, and even in the things that Trump was saying before the election, think about the places they're identifying for rigging. In Georgia, it's Atlanta and surrounding suburbs, right? DeKalb County, Fulton County. They keep using those code words. Black voters. We all know what they're talking about. Philadelphia, which the funny thing is that, Biden didn't do as well in Philadelphia. He did not outperform Hillary in Philadelphia. But they use that as a talking point. So how could Biden have won so much in Pennsylvania? Because there were a lot of suburbs with black people voting. They talk about the same thing with Atlanta. They talk about the same thing with Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's amazing. The consistency is strong. In all these swing states where Biden won, they keep saying there's rigging and there's fraud. And mostly when they are saying that, they are talking about black voting areas. And I keep telling them it's not that there was fraud. It is not that dead people voted. It is that black people hate Trump. It's simple. The people he was calling thugs during the George Floyd protest, those people told him during the protest, we got something for you. He didn't listen. He wasn't paying attention. He called them looters. He did not bother to separate the looters from those who had genuine concerns about police brutality and racial inequality, because you can always make that distinction. Now, they're trying to make that distinction about January 6th, right? They're telling us that not all the people that went to the rally are rioters. Oh, I'm sorry, really? So they're trying to make a distinction now for me and tell me that, well, only the people that entered the Capitol are the bad guys, even though the mob that pushed them in were all in agreement. Now, all of a sudden, now people now know how to distinguish between, protesters and arsonists and rioters. This is what I was shouting. Yeah, he said when the looting starts, the shooting starts. When some people started destroying and beating up police officers, he said, we love you. Olulova, Oniranu. He said, we love you. He said, I feel your pain, but go home. We love you. After they have killed police officer. So there is no false equivalency here. Don't allow them. You accuse black voters of voter fraud because you did not expect us to come out. And we were telling you when we were coming out, we were saying, look at us, we are coming out. Early voting numbers were through the roof. Early voting numbers were through the roof. Mail-in votes were through the roof. Lining up for 11 hours in Atlanta. Did you not think that that would have an impact on the result? Are you out of your mind? Do you not know how to count? Just count the people on the line and have a sense of what's going to happen in that precinct. So for me, accountability for Trump is not an option. It must happen. Because I want the next guy who has a Trump mentality. Because don't make any mistake, there'll be guys and girls coming who are like Trump, who are horrible like Trump, but who are smarter than him. That's what I fear the most. Honestly, my biggest fear is a Donald Trump character who can actually think. This one is empty-headed, and that worked to our favor. This one worked to our favor. I'm glad that Donald Trump is a moron. If Donald Trump wasn't a moron, we'll be in big trouble. I'm telling you. But because he doesn't think too far ahead, we are safe now. That's why we're able to get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? On that January 6th, Donald Trump sent the mob to the Capitol building. He did not calculate the fact that that mob was going to interrupt his mob that were already in the building. Because he had a mob in the building. About 100 and something congressmen, Republican congressmen, the GOP Congress, and about 12 or 13 Senate Republicans led by Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz. They were already inside the building doing his bidding, slowing down the certification, objecting to certain states, which would have forced the process to about 2 or 3 days before they certified Biden. So those guys were already doing his work, but he couldn't wait for them to finish. So he sent another mob from the outside, thereby sabotaging the mob on the inside. Do you realize that when they came back from the insurrection and they came back to the floor to continue the count, the air had gone out of the balloon of the objections? Yeah, the girl with the gun. What they call her? They call her QAnon Betty or QAnon Sally or something. Do you know what I'm saying? So because he sent the mob inside could not do their job. He sabotaged himself. Because of what the mob did on January 6th, Joe Biden's certification of his election victory was hastened so that they could call it on January 7th by 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, QAnon Lauren, yeah. His people were inside, but he sabotaged his own people. That's why I say I'm grateful Donald Trump is not as smart as some others. Because if you had a smarter person with the kind of following that Donald Trump had, we'll be in bigger trouble. And so for me, Donald Trump needs to be held accountable. I know New York is chomping at the bit to get at him. I don't know what will happen with his local prosecutions, but the Senate needs to hold a hearing, a trial for his behavior for the impeachment. Like I've told everybody, I'm not sure he'll be convicted. Actually, exactly. But he always does that. He sabotages himself on a regular basis. And that's why I'm grateful. If Donald Trump was not a self-saboteur, he would be president right now. Again, honestly, it would have cost Donald Trump nothing to pretend to care about Corona. I'm telling you. It would have cost Donald Trump nothing to pretend to care about Corona. All Donald Trump had to do with Corona is what every other world leader did. Come out and say, there's a disease. It's coming from China. It's very, very contagious. We don't know how it operates. I'm working with my scientists. We're going to keep us safe. And then the next week, you come out and say, the disease is here. Some people are dying. I'm working with the governors. The scientists say we should wear masks. Please, everybody wear a mask. I'm going to wear one right now. Boom. 2 weeks after, coronavirus is still here. I'm working with the governors. We are going to do a shot. This was what world leaders were doing. Tracking the virus, working with experts, telling their people the truth, trying their best in an unknown environment. People are attacking Fauci as if Fauci is a Superman. Fauci, like any other scientist, was working with the information available each time he spoke. That's all we expect from our leaders. I will not be so upset with you if you tell me what you know and we work based on what you know, and then what you know changes, and then you come back and tell me, well, last week I told you masks are not necessary. This week we found out that masks are necessary. Let's all wear masks. That's not lying. That's not being dumb. That's not being incompetent. That's working with the information. There's a reason they call it the new coronavirus. It's behaving like unlike anything we've ever seen before. So I can forgive that. And nations are forgiving their leaders for any flip-flops, for any changes in policy, because everyone that has a brain understands that this thing is changing. Like now we have a new strain. Nobody needs to tell you that this new strain is acting differently. It's hitting faster. My friends in Nigeria who said coronavirus is not a Nigerian disease, they are changing their tune because coronavirus junior brother, strain 2, is coming into Nigeria and Africa and telling them, you guys disrespected my brother. I will show you something. Now, people are changing their tune very quietly, though they are still online saying it's a lie. But inside they are drinking aboniki. They are mixing hot spices and drink. People who don't have any symptoms. They are drinking ginger. You know, so Donald Trump won this battle. Donald Trump would have won, and he would have helped us reduce the death rate. A lot of the people, many of the people who died are victims, not even of their own misbehavior, but of the misbehavior of a lot of people around them who kept believing the lie that Donald Trump kept telling them that it's not a big deal. That's why some of the deaths from coronavirus can be laid at the feet of Donald Trump. Because aside from not being useful in helping us fight and overcome it, he became an active employee of the disease. Do you understand what I'm saying? How is there a disease in your land and you are the one telling people to just forget about it and go out and party? How is there a disease, an infectious disease in the land, and you, the president, are the ones who are gathering people for rallies, telling them not to wear masks, telling them to come closer, bragging on the rally stage that, oh, I would kiss every one of you right now if I could, I would hug you. You're just creating this atmosphere that, the disease is not happening. In the meantime, the people you are talking about are dying. So Donald Trump could have easily won this election by just behaving like a human being around coronavirus. That's it. So on the one hand, I wish he had behaved like a human being so we can preserve lives. On the other hand, the fact that he did not behave like a human being allowed us to see clearly that he is not a human being and made it easy for us to fight and push him out. He lost by close to 8 million popular votes. Stop this nonsense about rigging. 8 million people. 8 million votes is the difference between Trump and Biden. They are not mates. Lara is in the building from Texas. How far, Lara? 8 million votes is the difference. It's not a small something. They are not mates. Donald Trump and Biden are not mates. He beat him like he stole something. Biden beat Donald Trump like they used to beat people in Nigeria when I was young, when they put tire on them and put kerosene and set them on fire. Yeah, BC, I can see the pictures. Yeah, the new White House secretary is here. This one looks like she's ready to tell the truth. I know she will have to lie once in a while, but I promise you, she will never be able to lie like Kelly Maka. Hey, Kelly Makanini, fine girl lying lips. Delilah is learning next to Kelly Makalini. Kelly is a pretty ladies, but she lied too much. She reminded me of that Orlando was so sweet. Is it? Hey, do you know Orlando? Sweet kangaroo, sweet kangaroo. As you beautiful, also you lie too much. Sweet kangaroo. Yo, Kelly Maka can lie. Oh, Mike Dada is here. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. The thing about Sarah that I like, that I don't like, but I like. Sarah will lie. Then she will abuse your father. Sarah will lie in response to you. Then she will turn it to you and say, are you not the one that killed that woman last week? Ha! So by the time you keep saying, no, I didn't kill anybody, so you killed her. You forget the question you asked Sarah. Sarah was very skillful, I'm telling you. But Kelly Maka, she will lie and she will decorate the lie and you'll be mesmerized by her eyes in the lie. Because Kelly Maka she's a diva. Lovely lady, looking nice. Her fashion sense is, at least the ladies can correct me. Kelly Makamaka to me looked like somebody who was dressing nice. Kelly's hair was done. All right. Nobody can accuse Kelly Makanini of appearing shabby in any picture or any video. Kelly Makamaka look good. Lara, why are you this weekend? He said, Okponu. No, 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 no. I will not take that from you. Is it Kelly Makamaka? You're calling Okponu? Yo, Kelly Makanini can lie. She can lie for Africa. Kelly Makanini, she will come and spew Trump's lies. The president has been working hard all day. When we saw him on the golf course, Kelly Makamaka. Yeah. They say, let her go and update our wardrobe now. Lara, no, that lady will dress well regardless. So I trust that lady. She would have made her money in the Trump era. I trust her. Although many of them can't find work now. Did you hear that? Many Trump employees can't find work. I feel bad. I feel bad. Only for the low-level staff. Because I'll be honest, if you're like a low-level staff or intern or no more than intern, just hired in the editing office, there are some jobs that if you get an opportunity to work in the White House, normally it's a big deal. It's a big deal. You don't turn that down for a career. But unfortunately for everybody that work with Donald Trump, most of them are having a hard time getting jobs. Yeah, telling they're unemployable. And I feel bad for those who are low-level guys because, like I said, I'll be honest, man. If they call you to come and, okay, it's like somebody that they call you to come and fix the toilet in the White House. You're not going to say because it's Donald Trump, oh, I'm not going to. Nah, that's your job. That's your business. You do your job. But I do think for those in positions of power, executive power, where you have a little more flexibility because of your history and resume, you should have thought about it. The new stimulus check, man. I'm even going to give Biden time because they have to still pass it to his table. So Mitch McConnell is still feeling bitter because he's no longer the Senate leader. So we have to beg Mitch McConnell first and let him get his friends in the GOP to help us sign this check before we get it to Biden. So there's work to do. That's why I said at the beginning, I am not putting any unnecessary expectation on Joe Biden. I will not join you to do that. We have no right to expect miracles from Joe Biden. None. A nation that can elect a dumpster fire like Donald Trump has no reason or basis to ever expect any other president to do miracles. If Joe Biden can maintain himself and not curse people out during a speech, he has already won the battle. He has already improved our presidency. The White House is already looking better. Just because Joe Biden has entered the White House now for some hours, I don't know if he has tweeted anything, but I have not seen Joe Biden's tweet abusing somebody's father. Mike, his executive orders so far are perfect now because some of them are rolling back some of the other things. One of the things that I love is the student loan postponement. My guy, behaving correct. I haven't seen all of them, but the executive orders so far and they are all most of the things he said he would do. So he's just following through on those promises. So for me, like I said, and I will not agree with everything that Biden does. That's the normalcy I was praying to return to with Biden. The normalcy where you don't agree with everything the president, or you even disagree with him, or you're even upset with the president, but not because of his fundamental corrupt nature. That's the difference. If I disagree with Biden now on a policy, or if a scandal comes out now where Biden, or even they're investigating Biden's son for tax issues, right? If it comes out that the investigation says that Hunter Biden has tax problems, or maybe he's going to have to pay back taxes or whatever, that's a normal scandal. I can opine on that and say that is shameful, is disgraceful, and any punishment that is coming to him, any consequence he needs to suffer. I can do that freely, but I will not be doing that with the understanding that his father, the president, is working hard to undermine our democracy. That's the difference between Trump and everybody else. Trump was fundamentally working to uproot everything that was decent in this country. The physical manifestation of that. Again, I'm glad January 6th happened. I'm so glad. It makes it easy to have this conversation. Because before then, I felt like we were talking in abstract. I put so many posts. Those of you who follow me, you know. On my shows, on my page, I kept putting posts like Donald Trump has infected our judiciary. He has infected our DOJ. He has infected the media. He has infected the post office, for crying out loud. He has uprooted things that we never knew could be uprooted. And when I was saying it, he was like, oh, you're exaggerating. It's not that bad. It's just a politician. No, like, why don't you see? This man is going for the main things that hold this country together. And January 6th was the day where I could relax, because everyone else was watching America's capital get sacked and ransacked. There was tear gas, people sitting on the speaker's chair, people ripping out doors, saying we are here like thugs. Our legislatures, our congressmen, senators, White House staff, everybody, vice president were in hiding under desks, under tables in America. Did we not used to share videos of nations where state legislatures were fighting and throwing chair and say, look at these barbarians? I was one of them that did that. I want to apologize to every nation that I have insulted for having fights inside their Senate. I am sorry, Nigeria included. Trump was the virus. I'm sorry. Nigeria, I apologize to Nigeria. I think I insulted Senegal too, and Kenya. When I saw videos of senators and congressmen in those countries throwing chair at each other inside the Senate room and fight was breaking out, and I said, look at these guys. Imagine. I apologized. Because in this America, our own Senate was ransacked by thugs. The police let them in. And I don't blame those police. Are you out of your mind? There's a mob coming. There's 5 of us. And you guys want us to do what? Stand and wait for them to crush us? My guy, enter, please. Go to the left. He's not even belittling. He's not just belittling. He undid whatever America has done to build up a reputation for herself. This man has undone those things. It is now whether America is able to redo them. That's why Biden is rejoining the climate agreement. He's doing this and that. It's just it's begging. We are begging our allies to come back. In America, why they met a half cover? That's exactly right. America is now that country that if America comes to see you and you are fighting in your election, and America says, you guys need to tell them to shut up. You want to talk, America? Shut up. We are talking about elections. America wants to talk. Please don't come here and ransack our capital. Please go, America, go. We're not talking about you. That's what we are. That's what America is now. We have to use soldiers to surround our inauguration. Is that not a third world country kind of visual? Thank you, Donald Trump, for humbling this nation. You brought America to her knees. Thank God you didn't behead her. And that's what I'm talking about. So all this is to say there must be MJ, is this true? China has banned previous administration members from entering their country. It's possible because I know we did it to China too. So China, I'm telling you, nations now have the opportunity to yeah America. I was making the joke on one of the memes I saw where I think is it Burundi or one nation, they had a picture of their leader saying, we are very concerned about what's happening in America. We might be sending an envoy to help them to keep the peace. I said, Buhari should send ECOMOG to America to help us secure our inauguration. That's the level America. That's the level America is. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are here, talk to me. Drop a comment. We'll be talking about this inauguration and the shame of those who are saying that, this inauguration will not happen. Where are they today? Where are you? I was not going to be like this, honestly. I was not going to be the kind of person that would say, Obi, you see yourself now. Because the truth is, in the next 4 years, Joe Biden's administration will be put to the test. It's a pendulum. It's a pendulum. Anything can happen. But I will take this moment because the ignorance that people allow themselves to buy into has to be you have to repudiate their ignorance. Otherwise, you deserve all the trolling you get. Why would you believe such lies? You are the same people, the 5G people. You are the same ones. 400,000 Americans are now dead. Is Corona still a hoax? Is COVID still a joke? Trump and his people kept telling us that, oh, they're hyping the corona numbers to make Trump look bad. It's all about Trump. Trump is no longer president. Has corona stopped killing people? You're out of your mind. Yeah, so many pastors and prophets right now. We have not heard from them. My brother Monday, Baba, good to see you. We have not heard from them. We have not heard from them. We don't know where they are. And there were some pastors and ministers that I respect in this sense. When the election was over, there were some pastors that came out and said, election is over. Donald Trump lost. We believed he would win. Let's move on. Those were the smart ones. But the Femi Fani-Kayode of our time, buying into conspiracy theories that they have no basis to understand. I'm good, sir. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Happy inauguration. These people were buying into angels. Angels of Africa came. MJ, I've told everybody this, because when you pray, prayers are answered. The question is, did you pray right? The Bible says that sometimes when we pray amiss. That's the problem I see with many of us. I'm guilty of it. In this case, many people are guilty. They prayed amiss. Because apparently, from what we can now say on the other side of inauguration, if you have, hey, Baba Shole, Baba Afana, Pastor Shola is in the building. Pastor Shola, where's your inauguration t-shirt? Your invitation should have been in the mail. BC, angels came from angels don't need visa. Babeski, Babe. Angels don't need visa. Angels came. But you see, sometimes when we should ask God his own will, right? So if we are going to go biblical and godly about this, now because that's where people, Trump is president because God desires it. And I've never even argued that. My only question to those people was, why? That's the next question nobody was asking. If for the sake of our community, God, because no man knows the heart of God except to them that God reveals it. But if we believe that you have seen the heart of God on that matter, I say God decided that Trump will be president. I can't disagree with you on that, because there's nothing that happens that God doesn't know about. But there's a perfect will of God, permissive will of God. To say God wants something as opposed to say he permits something, two different things. That's for theology. Pastor Shola is here. Let me not do too much theology. Pastor Shola said, yes, Ankara, I trust you, Baba. So if you're saying God was involved in Trump becoming president, you must also admit that God is involved in Trump leaving the presidency and Biden becoming president. Like I was asking those who said God chose Trump, you must also agree that God chose Obama for 8 years. Because otherwise you'll be saying that God was silent for 8 years and then all of a sudden decided that he was going to act when it was time for Trump to run. That's not God. And so that's where this prophecy thing threw me off. You can even have an impression as a believer. You can have an idea. You can have an inspiration. But you must always separate an inspiration, an idea, a notion from a direct message from God. Because if a prophecy does not work out, it is not God that is wrong. God is not a liar. We should ask the prophet. And that's what I'm telling people. You ask the prophet. Because knowing the heart of God is not something you just sit down and put pen and paper and start calculating the mind of God. It's an insult. The Bible says the things that are revealed are for us and the things that are hidden are for God. I should not substitute my feelings and emotions for God's will. And that is a practice that we as believers should be learning as we grow. God will reveal what he will reveal. What he does not reveal, let us not say he reveals. So that we'll not have stories that touch. You know? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Prophecy that will say that God sent them. But you have not prophesied for your congregation, for your country. So many prophecies from Nigeria concerning America's election, which is great because God can send his prophets to the nations. But what happens when we now begin to realize that it does not appear that you listen to the message you were passing? That's why don't tie your anointing to a political contest. I do not see that as a biblical concept. God sent Samuel. I love this. As I'm getting this. God sent Samuel to anoint one of Jesse's sons as king. My brother, I challenge you, my pastor, my prophet, with all due respect. Your anointing, I do not know if it has come to the level where it is bigger than Samuel's anointing. I don't know you. But I suspect that Samuel also was a great prophet of God. So let's just put it like that. Even if you say you are a great prophet or a great minister, Samuel got it wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying? Samuel got it wrong. Samuel went to Jesse's house, saw David's brothers. Dudes were looking tight. Dudes looked like they were coming from the gym, right? Samuel's like, this must be the king. Samuel was about to take out his oil, and the Lord told Samuel, what are you doing? Samuel said, God, I'm about to anoint this great man as a king for your people. God says, Samuel, calm down. Do I work for you or do you work for me? Let me tell you something. God surprised Samuel. Then God told Samuel, ask the man if he has any other children. The man said, I really don't, but the small one is in the field, but I'm sure it can't be that one. That one, we're just managing him. God told Samuel, guy, go and find that small one in the field. That's the one I want. Am I saying something? Don't substitute your notions for God's will. We live our lives as believers praying that God will reveal his will to us. He does it sometimes in parts and portions. Paul says, right now we see as if through a glass dimly lit. And on that day, when we join the Lord, we will see all things clearly. And until we join the Lord, we need to understand that what we see is something that is an apparition. That is why the prophet needs to test all spirits. Please do not let us go this route again, because many have been deceived by your deception. Many have look, one of the things that hurts me the most about this is that families have been broken up. Friendships have been destroyed on this matter of politics. I can argue with you about who I think should be president. You can tell me who you think should be president. But the moment one of us says, God says this is the one, we have taken another level into the conversation. If indeed God has said it, he will do it. But if you are saying something God has not said, you will bear the shame of it. Baba, I don't even want to believe that God put a lying spirit in their mouth. I don't want to believe it, because I believe that many of the people we are talking about, for the most part, up until this point, have been ministers of God with great reputations. My fear is that we are at a time of life, even in spiritual things, where it is becoming important to be prominent. It is becoming important to be popular. It is becoming important to do more than the next pastor. Therefore, I must make great predictions. Whereas, if God sends you to a member of your congregation and you deliver faithfully, you have done better than one who seems to prophesy to nations when he has not been sent. So today, day of inauguration, many prophets, so-called prophets, many so-called ministers have been shown to either have been wrong or to be lying. And for me, that's a tragedy. It's a myopic spirit to the extent that you want to will your will to become God's will. And we talked about some of the reasons why a lot of our Christian brothers and sisters were in support of Donald Trump, and I get that. Don't look. If you grew up as a believer, if you're a believer for any number of time in your life, you as a Bible believer, as a child of the Spirit, as a child of God, you do understand where God places sin and everything that has to do with sin. So you understand that conversation. What I quibble with is reading scripture in isolation. If you at this point of our faith, I believe at a certain level of maturity in faith, you begin to understand that God is bigger than what you can comprehend. So what you can really understand is parts of God's nature that he reveals, parts of God's plans that he reveals, parts of God's principles that he reveals. Because the truth is, we do not have the capacity to contain the entire knowledge of God. It's an insult to think we do. In order for us to really see God as he is, we need to leave this body. Moses saw God as he had turned back. And even that is the picture. Because God says, no man sees me and lives. So what I'm trying to put together is that this is a moment for a reset. in the spiritual realm, in the Christian realm. It's a moment for a let's turn the temperature down, as they say. Let's pick up the pieces and let's reassess. If you were wrong about this election, that's fine. But if you were wrong about a prophecy about this election, then we need something deeper. And the church needs to stop dividing itself up in political lines. We can have these conversations about abortion, sexuality, marriage. We can have those conversations and we can continue to learn. But do not substitute your understanding of those things for the will of God. That way, you won't end up predicting that Trump will be president another 4 years, 4 more years. And now you look like a fool. You do look like a fool. Because if nothing else, if Biden decides tomorrow morning that he no longer wants to be president and he leaves, your prophecy has already failed. Because many of you, your point and prophecy is that he would never step into the White House. He did that today. In fact, he signed some papers. Just for measure. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I went off on that, but that's what we are. We are celebrating this inauguration because it's the end of an era and it's the hope for a better future. I don't expect miracles from Biden. I do not think it's fair to expect miracles from Biden. He didn't destroy this country. He did not cause people to go and sack the Capitol. He's not responsible for that. So I don't expect miracles. I just expect him to be okay, honestly. BC, let me show me what we have a few more. Talk to me. My people are here. Yeah, Baba Monday, how do you feel today? Let me get your feeling on this. MJGX is in the UK. Yeah, man. MJGX is in the UK, like giving us updates on the brother of the coronavirus. I wanted to play the video of the young laureate, the poet Amanda Gorman, because she really captured my feeling of this moment in America. But I know many of us have seen the video, or you can see it on YouTube, Amanda Gorman. So I will be leaving soon, so I don't want to take your time with that. But let me tell you something. Where we are right now is a question of, we are in a new era. Trump does need to be held accountable. Make no mistake. Now, I'm not sure he will be. I don't trust McConnell. I don't trust all those people. Wow. So lockdown in UK. Wow. Imagine in 2021. No. God will help you. God will help us all. This 2021 must not be like the last year. That's why, I did last week. I talked about 2 weeks ago. I talked about the vaccine. Me too. I have, concerns, vaccines, this and that. But at some point, we'll have to take it, because we can't continue like this. Second strain, third strain. I don't care anymore. We need to take vaccine because we need to leave the house. So lockdown is not a good sign. So let me see. So we're going to be done now, but yeah. Somebody said that if your pastor ever said that Donald Trump will win as a prophecy, it's time to unfollow them. And I'll be honest with you. I won't go that far. BC, you know me. I'm always a little hesitant with those things. I won't go that far. You don't have to leave your pastor, because everybody has moments. Yeah, everybody has moments. So, like I said, Samuel got it wrong. It didn't stop God from using him to anoint David. It didn't stop David from listening to Samuel. Saying so, that's not. I think God is the merciful God. But all I'm saying is that the lessons we have learned, let us not forget them. Don't come back here next time and start quoting things from people you consider to be spiritual leaders when you yourself can tell that this is not of God. It's time to have responsibility for your own faith. My pastor said, it's not Jesus said. It's just not. And this election is an example of that. If Jesus did not say it, then it's not gospel. That's where we are, And so that way we can come together and pray for Biden. Pray that God will help him. Anything he does that we don't like, we voice out that this doesn't conform to my thought and my values. Understanding that my values are not the controlling values of the nation. So that's the other conversation we have to have. Like, what I believe doesn't necessarily, become the law of the land. because that's not how it works. So I'm celebrating today because it's just the end of an era. And like I said, for me, by having a memorial service for dead Americans yesterday, Biden has already scored a big plus in my book, because I've been asking Trump supporters, from the beginning of last year, why is your man not recognizing the dead? We didn't even hear any stories of him calling families. I mean, it's empathy. That's the word I've been shouting for a whole year. 2020 is a year that was reminding us to go back to empathy, taking care of each other, checking on your neighbors. If you've never done that before, thinking about others. If you have a roof over your head, thinking about those who don't in a virus, people who lost their jobs. If you've been blessed to keep your job, then find ways, maybe through your church, to help those who lost their jobs. That's the kind of year we had. That's the kind of year we're still having in this new year. It's empathy. It's reminding us of humanity. That's why the same coronavirus that killed somebody in Italy came to America, killed somebody. It's going to other nations, killing people. So that we are also, it turns out we're all human beings. Wow, imagine that. It turns out we can all be killed by a virus. Then should I not just love my brother a little more? And that's why it was so important to get rid of the kind of leader who just doesn't see the world like that. Donald Trump has never seen the world through empathetic eyes. And unfortunately, I feel like he has been unable to, because he doesn't have that part of the heart that does that. Either he killed it, suppressed it, sold it. He doesn't have it. And that's why he was not able to rise to the moment when the moment called for empathy. Joe Biden, whatever else you think about Joe Biden, you will not argue that Joe Biden lacks empathy. You can't argue that. By virtue of what he's been through in his life, by everything we've seen so far. Tell me anything else. Tell me Hunter Biden doesn't pay taxes. Tell me but do not tell me that you do not see. Don't tell me that you can't see the empathy in Joe Biden. And that's why I think he won. And that's why I think he'll do well. Because the rest of America runs more or less on its own like a machine. I was telling somebody, oh, you voted for a man who is so old, he doesn't even, you don't understand how this country works. The reason why Donald Trump is out of office today is because the system works in spite of the president. That's the good thing about America. Now, don't get me wrong, Trump has so many enablers that he was able to impact the system and almost break the pillars. But the system was strong enough to withstand him and his enablers and his hoodlums. That system works in spite of who you are as president. Now, it works better when you have a president who cares, who's competent. It works better. We can do more. But if we end up with a moron and a thug like Trump, it's going to be rough on the system. But the system has a way. It's been built over years. It's been built over sweat and tears. Injustice has been part of the foundation. But we are moving towards a better union. So that system was able to withstand this onslaught. And so it's not so much that Biden this or that. The system will hold as long as you don't have the principal at the top of the pyramid trying to hack away at the foundation. That enough is enough change to allow America to do better. A president that does not attack Fauci, that does not attack governors, but rather works with governors to handle the pandemic. That's what we've always needed. That's what we needed last year. Not a vindictive man who gets offended because a governor said something about him that's not nice. That's what we got. That's why America looks like the kid who came last in class in the exams of Corona, even though he's supposed to be the smartest kid in class. That's why this hurts. We should not have lost 400,000 Americans. And we say that number, understand, there are people in that number. There's John, there's Karen, there's Mike, there's Jovan, there's everybody's in there. There's Mr. Lee, Mr. Khan. Everybody's in that number, 400,000. Teachers, bus drivers, grocery store clerks, lawyers, doctors. They're all in that number that we are calling 400,000. Should not have lost that many. Should not have lost that many. And that's why I'm happy Donald Trump is out. And that's why I like the fact that Biden understands that his number one job is to secure lives. The day you have a leader who understands that assignment, you can be sure that things are likely to get better. It's your boy JFK. You guys have helped me get through my toothache today. And we got through it. But congratulations to Harris and Biden and to their families. If I were Joe Biden's grandchildren, nobody can take me out of the White House. I'm not going anywhere. My parents can go home. We are living in the White House. It's your boy JFK, man. You guys are amazing. I'm glad to be back on it. Let me know what's going on with you. Hopefully, you guys share the video, like it, comment on it, and hopefully I'll be better and I'll see you again soon. Probably in the first week of the Biden-Harris administration, and then we'll see what's happening with our boy, Donald Lysol Bunker Boy Trump. I want to see if maybe they'll go into the bush with his militia and they will start a rebel. They can start a rebel army because I don't trust him. But we'll see what he will do. All right, guys. See you later. Bye. It's your boy JFK. Holla back. Don't forget to share the video, like the video, comment on the video, and we'll catch each other up on the other side. All right. Talk to you.